One thing I wanted to point out is how the LCD screen works in notes mode, especially with device. If we go here and click device, I'm already on it, so it's not going to change, but you'll see that you get different parameters here. Right now you can just see we have a piano selected, but I wanted to show you that you don't have to go to the computer to change your macro knobs even with inside of a rack. So right now we're in a piano rack, but we can go deeper if we'd like. Now that we're inside of the rack, it gives us another set of macros. Let me go and open this up. That's one thing that Push does not do. It does not open or collapse any of the views. I think that's definitely one thing that they should add in. So as you can see, we've dug into the piano and we have a few parameters here that are actually mapped already, so you cannot change them. If we want, we can actually go deeper, so we could press down again. And as you can see now, we're in each individual chain, so we could go through the chains and the LCD screen will update to each chain that we're in. So let's back out. It's this button right here. So we're going back up one level inside of just the main rack. So let's select the EQ. And we can change that EQ. Well, we could change a few of them. Some of them are mapped. And as you can see on the screen here, as I'm moving around, the nothing is opening. So the EQ, if I wanted to actually look at it on the screen, I'd have to open it, which would come in handy when some of the macros that you have are mapped and can't be changed, so you would know which ones you actually can affect. And then also here we have reverb. So we're able to delve into the different parameters. As we've gone into the reverb, we see that we have reflections and diffusion and global, which is really nice. You can go as deep as you like. One thing I did notice about sampler is that if your filter or oscillator has no settings, you can't make any changes or turn it on, which is kind of strange. So we're in the second piano, and we can see that our pitch oscillator is not on. So let's select the oscillator, and everything is blank. So if you look at the screen, there's nothing set, and then you look here, there's nothing. But if I go with my mouse and make a change, click on oscillator, then I could turn it off, it's now there. So I think that's kind of funky, but hopefully they'll make that change. One other thing that I wanted to talk about is that we know that there is note on and off messages and velocity, but also Push has Aftertouch. So I want to show you real quickly a Max for Live device that comes standard with Suite that will turn your Aftertouch into any kind of parameter that you'd like. To add a MIDI effect, it's a little bit different. You will press Shift and add effect. Expression control, select that. I'm going to need to do this with my mouse because we're going to have to map it. So for dramatic effect, I'm going to map this to the tone knob. So let's check it out. So to save time, I recorded a little passage and we're going to talk about automation. to get you guys rolling in that direction. If we look right now, there's already some automation happening. This is the filter expression control that I had, so every time I'm pressing on the note, it's opening up the filter, and when I'm letting go, it's closing. So the harder I press, the more it opens, the softer I press, the more it closes. So we're going to automate this, however, just to so let's see which one works pretty well. Yeah, the tone one's good. So right now I set a fixed length of 4 bars. So we have 4 bars that we can automate. We don't have to automate the whole thing, but we can automate it. So let's go. So the cool thing about this is that since all of the macro knobs are touch sensitive, whenever I touch them, it knows that it's time to automate. When it turns, it automates, and when you let go, it stops automating and goes back to its default. So you don't end up having a passage where for the last 2 bars where you don't have any automation, it's just at 100% or whatever you left it at. Another thing to show is that the Ableton Push allows you to add a sustain pedal. So I'll just show you really quickly. I'll hook it up and I'll just play you a chord, and you can see that it works. So play with the automation, the fixed length, Aftertouch, and with the things that I've showed you in the last couple of days, and this, you can start making some really expressive note combinations. Once again, this is Josh Spoon, 30 days of Ableton Push, and I'll see you tomorrow.